Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 371. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, for a second, when you started saying Too Fresh, I was like, Matt's not here. Why is he doing that?
You forgot your own nickname.
Yeah, I completely slipped my mind.
You forgot who you was for a second there, you crazy guy. Did you see the photo of Crash? Crash. Jeez, now you got me doing it. Of Matt and Angel Boy.
I don't know how tall either of them are.
They're both short as fuck.
Are they?
They're both short. Yeah.
How tall? How short?
Well, I'm 6 foot. I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11", and I'm taller than both of them. And I know you're like 6. Are you like 6'7"?
No.
Big muscles, built like a brick shit house. Yeah, no, I saw that. So yeah, for those who don't know, Matt is currently in Germany for Gamescom. He's not covering it for My Xbox and Me. We wish. He's there with work, but he bumped into a long-time viewer of the show, Angel Boy, a fan of Crash's first, and he came over to my chat and now obviously watches everything that we do. And it was like, I think this was the first fan interaction Matt might have had from the podcast. So that's a special one. Seeing that on social, I was like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. If you didn't know, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast that you can get right here on youtube.com/MyXboxandMe, and of course, podcast services. If you want the show early or even just to support us financially, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer. Also, don't forget to review us on all podcast services. It means more than you would even know, so please go and do that. Patreon producers this week, of course, Erin Guard and FNH Paul, keeping the lights on, keeping the show going. Big thank you to those guys indeed. Crash, let's start with this week's dashboard. Let's get into our topic of the show this week. Gamescom is upon us. We watched it together. Did a makeshift thrown together reaction. It wasn't really a reaction. It was more just a case of, I wanted to watch this, I'm turning my stream on. That's pretty much what it was. What did you think of Jeff Keighley's Gamescom show?
It was not horrible. It was all right. I think that's the best way to put it. It went too long.
Oh, way too long.
There was some bits that just, I don't know, time and time again. You mentioned it while we were watching it, like, why are there rewards here?
Oh, that's my biggest pet peeve is, why do we have awards at opening night live? I don't get it.
There was also like, the problem is also like, I get wanting to reward developers and stuff like that.
Of course.
For sure, they go under awarded a lot of the times. But one of the rewards was like best upcoming Xbox game and best upcoming PlayStation game. And I think for the most part, both of those were
all multi-platform games. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what's going on here? These feel like we're gonna do rewards because it's Jeff Keighley and that's Jeff Keighley's thing. So there's rewards here.
They seem like participation trophies. They don't feel like they have any merit at all. Though I could totally be wrong. And maybe, as I said this during the stream, which is like, if you're a developer out there and you listen to the show, and I know there are a few of you, please email it, myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. Even if you don't want me to read your name on it or something, let me know in the email or on the Twitter DM. I'd love to know if you guys care about these awards, or is it just me that's like the old grouchy old guy, like, oh, why are these awards here? This is pointless. Because if it's something that developers generally do care about and stuff like that, I think that makes perfect sense, because then there would have been feedback from devs who were like, no, we like that. We like the fact we get awards. We like the fact that we're excited for our games and we're being spoken about still. And I think that could be the only thing I can think of like why you would bring it up. Like a game that maybe hasn't shown anything here, they still get brought up in some capacity, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I think kind of the problem is that it's at the beginning of Gamescom.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was like later and people got to vote like what games they played and what they saw, and it was sort of like a best of show sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that could work. Like, you want to do awards that way. I think that.
I feel like a voting system I feel like a live audience voting system would be fun. At least then it's like the
Yeah.
people's choice as well. It's not just because who decides that these are the best games?
Who decides the category?
Who decides
Whether it's all Jeff Keighley or not, it's all Jeff Keighley.
Okay, yeah, we're blaming Jeff for this. I appreciate it. I
Okay.
appreciate it. But yeah, then obviously we had the big showing. I'm with Crash. Definitely thought the show was too long, and I just wasn't that impressed. And we're gonna go through the list of stuff, and it's gonna be pretty quick. So if you want a proper recap, go check out. There's some great websites, Polygon, and a few others that have got great recaps. But we had Hogwarts Legacy, we had Tales from the Borderlands, we had High on Life, we had Dead Island 2, we had Gotham Knights, and I mean, out of all of the ones I just mentioned there, yeah, like my favorite thing of this whole show was Lies of P.
Yeah, that had
That,
a really good showing.
that was my favorite showing of this entire showcase. But what I'm trying to say here is these were not small titles. Like obviously Hogwarts Legacy, every Harry Potter fan is interested in this game. Tales from the Borderlands or New Tales from the Borderlands is what I think they're calling it. Is like a game that was near and dear with my heart, and even watching the trailer, I was just like, am I just not the audience for these trailers anymore? Because I just want to play the game. Like, have I aged out of the hype all of a sudden, or the trailer's not good?
I think the trailers just weren't good. Like even it was Hogwarts Legacy is one that I saw some people getting hyped on, but it's like, what more can you show for Hogwarts Legacy? I know what that game is at that point.
Yeah,
And that trailer didn't show me anything new for that game either. Like I think clearly we saw like new stuff for the game, but
yeah,
none of it was like, oh wow, that's a new experience. I didn't know that was gonna happen, right?
yeah.
Same thing with Callisto Protocol. We saw that again, and I'm
Great.
super excited for that game.
I agree. Yeah,
But it was all stuff that we sort of seen. We saw the mutation with which they were sort of selling as something a little bit more different. It's just
yeah.
like, okay, that's
Which it
different, I
wasn't.
guess. It is.
It's not cool, but it's just like I feel like I see through it so much now, the marketing side of it now, where it's
Yeah.
like some of these trailers are cut. You're like, okay, there's somebody going, okay, what are the selling points of this trailer? Okay, yeah, we've got mutations, and you can shoot the enemy's head off. They're still gonna come and kill you. It's like, all right, we're gonna do a trailer based all around that, and it's like, huh, that doesn't get
Yeah.
me. That doesn't get me going. It doesn't get me excited the way I feel like it should. Goat Simulator 3 had a great showing as well. Is there any games on there that I've not mentioned that I feel like definitely need? I feel like High on Life had a good showing as well.
Yeah, there's one thing you absolutely completely forgot. The Hideo Kojima podcast on
Bro.
Spotify.
Bro.
That like our man's a simp, but you know.
Do you know what? It's weird though, yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like your friend's doing cool things, and he
Yeah.
happens to be one of the biggest video game creators in the world. So I get it to a certain degree and a certain level. I understand why it is the
That
way it is, but there's still a part of me that's just like, that didn't need. Like, you've really got to stop forcing
that
Kojima into things.
that was ultimately like that is I think if it had something more to do with a game, it would have been cool. But it was nothing. I would have rather him just have Hideo Kojima just talk up there, like say some words and not announce anything, not anything, just say
Yeah,
some Kojima stuff instead of like try and sell us on the podcast.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
just felt very sellout-y, and I don't
Disingenuous.
think that's what it was.
It wasn't,
Disingenuous,
but it's
that's a better
very.
word.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, because it's like you're selling us on a podcast on Spotify. I think it's a Spotify exclusive.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think it
know if
was.
it's
I
the case.
think it was.
So it's like that didn't feel great. Other
We
than that,
there was, like I say, there was At Last Trials, which is a game that I'm very much looking forward to.
there were
There were
good
games.
games.
It
Yeah.
still just didn't feel like it landed though for me.
Atlas Fallen seemed cool, but that was just a CGI trailer. I think there were
Yeah.
some CGI trailers, but I also think it was just way too long. Like, I think if he cut the fat off of this, and there's a good bit of stuff that he could have cut off,
Yeah.
it would have flowed better because it was what, like 2 hours
2
long, I'm pretty
hours.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a good bit I feel like could have got cut off from like 45 to 15 minutes, somewhere between there, and it would have flowed better. But I feel like that's also something we generally say with things Jeff Keighley does. He
That's true.
overpacks them, and I understand the video game awards more so because that is
And
announcements
an
and
award show.
celebration of
It's an
games.
award show, so I get why that's 3
Yeah,
hours long. I may not like the fact it's 3 hours long, but I understand it. But yeah,
yeah,
this is. You're right. Take the awards out of this. That saves you probably. Let's say hypothetically, that saves you 3 minutes. Yeah. Then you start cutting some of the. I understand wanting to give a lot of games their chances, but like some of the, like you say, trimming the fat on this. You still got to get ads involved, so yeah, you're still looking like probably an hour and a half show. But that half an hour is a big half an hour that can help with pacing.
yeah.
And you're right. I think
'Cause-
that's what the big thing was. The pacing was just, and to not have a big hitter at the end is always the thing that leaves you deflated.
yeah, I will say, Dead Island 2, surprisingly pleased with what I saw from Dead Island 2.
Me too. It just ain't a big deal though, because it's been gone for so long. It's not like a Final Fantasy that's been gone
Yeah.
for so long and like it's got a die-hard fan base behind it, and we're oh my god, it's flying. Like no, like I saw this, it was more just like relief of like, okay, it's almost out and almost over. I don't have to think about this game again soon.
I'm gonna disagree because
Okay,
after the show, the only thing I saw people talking about on Twitter was Dead Island 2. It wasn't
I said
any other
Dying Light, by the
game.
way. I meant Dead Island.
Yeah. It wasn't Hogwarts. It wasn't Life of P. It wasn't Gotham Knights. It wasn't anything else that was there. It was Dead Island 2. I think Dead Island 2 was the correct game to end on. Because
Of
whether it's
of what we
being
had
talked
here,
about,
if we look
oh,
at this list
absolutely.
here, 1000%,
But
one thousand percent.
what else could they show that's coming out soon? The only other thing would be God of War, I think.
Something new from God of War would have been fucking.
Yeah, but PlayStation's gonna do their own thing at some point.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's like, what else? What else do they have? They don't have anything else. There's nothing else
But
realistically coming out anytime soon. And
I
that's the
think
problem.
I think that's the big thing that we've learned though. You've got your Ubisoft. That's what I think I now need to reprogram my brain in remembering. You've got Ubisoft Connect. You've got Xbox's own thing. You've got PlayStation Full. What do they call that thing? PlayStation
State of play.
State of Play. Thank you. Obviously, Nintendo have always had their own thing. EA do EA Play. I feel like once upon a time, because those things didn't exist, they still existed, but not as frequently. Nah,
It's just E3s.
it was just E3s. Now, all these game companies and stuff are like, we're not giving you anything. We're gonna make our own thing and control the
Yeah.
news. The news we have the news beat for a whole day. If we do it ourselves, if we do it with you, we have it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the same thing that you see with Summer Games Fest as well. It's sort of like whoever is big is gonna end up going to, even like if you look at a Ubisoft or an EA, I'd expect them to announce their game at Xbox before I would have game Summer Games Fest.
But I think just talking to you through it. It's like, yeah, no, you're right, and that's why this is what it is, and this is what we should expect from now on.
Yeah,
From opening night live, maybe not the Game Awards, because the Game Awards does have such a much bigger reach because of the award show aspect of it, and it is, don't get me wrong, not that opening night live small, but like Game Awards is huge.
yeah, that's also set itself up as a place to announce games.
True.
So like I can guarantee you whatever NetherRealm's working on next is going to be announced at the Game Awards. I could
Yeah.
see Sony games getting announced at Game Awards. I could see Xbox games getting announced at Games Awards. I don't
Yeah.
think anything's off the table for that, but I think anything else, regardless of whether it's the PC Games Showcase or whatever the case it is, I think it's very unlikely that we would see it show up there as
Yeah.
opposed to like one of the in-house award shows we see.
Tangent, just a little tangent, yeah. Like I've been Insomnia all week, all weekend, I should say. So I literally just got back. Ain't it wild? I remember me and you watching the first PC gamer show and watching it and being like, wow, these hosts are amazing. The show,
Yeah.
the show wasn't. And now I'm friends with Frankie. I was hanging out with Frankie all weekend. And it's like, what a small world we live in. What a small
How
world we
everything's
live in.
changed.
It's weird. It's very, yeah, dude, it is weird. Very, very weird. But yeah, I wasn't disappointed in what was shown as a whole, but nothing got me that excited. And then from like a new IP sort of thing, of something that I didn't know existed. My number one showing here of what we've seen here. High on Life had a very good showing, and then Lies of P for me. Those were the two standouts.
Yeah.
And I was already sold on High on Life from the Xbox showcase, so yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think I kind of liked Gotham Knights showing. It wasn't like really gameplay. It seemed to be like more of a setting type of showing.
Yeah.
Which I think the more I see the setting, the more I'm like, ooh. The more I see the gameplay, I'm like, huh, it'll be interesting once I play.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Dune Awakening. I don't know if there's any hype around that, but it was odd to see a Dune game.
MMO
and
is
be
the
a
problem.
Survival MMO.
Survival MMO. That was the thing where you're like, oh. I think like it was like I saw the meme of like Dune, and like it was like the excited guy, and then like MMO survival, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
and like
And it's also by the people who make Conan, and apparently
yeah, that was a great
that
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little rough, so who knows. How'd you feel about the Dying Light 2 DLC? Did you expect DLC?
Again, Dying Light 2 is a hard one for me because the way it didn't grab me. Like I've got it. You've played it as well, right? Like it was one of those ones where like, I saw the DLC and it's like, oh, that looks cool, but the original game didn't get me, so this isn't going to do anything, which is a shame. It's a real shame because I know people who love Dying Light 1, like love Dying Light 1, and the fact that 2 just didn't make me sick this time, which is good, but it just didn't grab me. And I feel like maybe if I played it co-op, it would be that much funner. But then there's a part of me now that's like, might as well just wait for Dead Island 2, right?
Yeah.
And that experience for me is probably going to be that much better because it isn't the parkour. That's my least favorite part of Dying Light. So that makes sense. Which is its unique selling point. So I understand why it exists, but it's just for me, my favorite part of that game. Yeah. Should we move into some more news? Because there's still loads of other crash. Next up, we got, first news story, I should say. Marvel's cancelled an open world Iron Man game from the Just Cause developers. In an interview with Minmax, Avalanche Studios co-founder Christopher Sundberg, I hope I said that correctly, I apologize if I got that wrong, Sundberg, said the game was, quote, was in development for a couple of years, end quote, before it was ultimately cancelled around 2012. It would have been an open world game where you'd be able to take off and just fly anywhere. Sudberg also mentioned the ability to punch enemies through walls with Iron Man's repulsor gloves. Yeah, not too surprised. I feel like Marvel was going through this weird transition, right? Where they were partnering with a lot of people on anything, and then they stopped partnering with it. Everyone went very quiet for a while, and then we got Avengers, Guardians, and stuff like that. To me, I always was surprised that they never struck while the iron was hot on Iron Man. Like, they never did.
I guess Marvel didn't, but they did have Iron Man movie-based games way back in the day.
The 360 one?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a tie-in.
Yeah, it was a tie-in, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a tie-in.
Maybe you're, do you know what? You're probably correct. I'm thinking Avengers. Because I associate for some reason, don't ask me why, but like, I associate Iron Man very much with the Avengers. Yeah. And I know he's not, and I'm not as stupid as that, but I do. It very much like, when I think Avengers, the first person that pops into my head is Iron Man. Instantaneously. MCU-wise, especially as well. But yeah, it's it's sad, but is it? It's one of those ones where I'm like,
I didn't. I personally, I would not have wanted a game made by them,
yeah,
an Iron Man game made by them. Not saying they're not a talented studio and
no,
everything, especially after playing what was our game of the year? Anthem with the amazing flying. I don't know. I feel like any game that has flying is very difficult to do, and I know they have. I don't know about Just Cause enough to talk about it, but from what I played, I don't think I would have enjoyed it if
yeah.
they
I
did make
mean,
it.
Just Cause is a great game.
Yeah.
Like Just Cause is a great game. Words. Just Cause is a great game for what it is. I think their best game that I've ever played from them is Mad Max, and even that still feels very double A. It doesn't feel.
Yeah.
It's not a triple A experience.
Which, not a shot at them. People love their
No,
games,
Mad
but
Max is a. I think Mad Max is a great game, but it's very much a. It's very much a Ubisofty type game as well. Like, and there's nothing. I love Ubisoft games, so.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it was cancelled. I'm not. If the game was bad, I'm glad it got cancelled. That's kind of my take on things now. If the game isn't good, I'm glad it gets cancelled. So yeah. What's the next Marvel property you think we get?
We'll find out in September.
Yes,
I really think it's gonna be a Daredevil game.
Daredevil.
I think it just makes so much sense. It's so easy to translate into a game.
True.
Or you look at some of the other IPs that they have.
What's the rumors? The rumors is Daredevil, isn't it?
The rumors Daredevil. There is a rumor for a Marvel game being made by NetherRealm. I don't know how valid that rumor is, but NetherRealm I feel like has 1,000,001 rumors going around about it. I think people just don't know about them. Daredevil, I think that's it. I don't know
Hear
if
me
there's
out.
any other rumors. Yeah.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Do you remember Metal Gear Rising?
Yeah.
Give Platinum
Okay.
and I guess whoever's like it's Kojima Productions and Platinum that made that. So I don't know the exact people that actually made it. So I assume Platinum. Give Platinum a Blade game, but they can only make the gameplay, and then bring me someone that could do very good story. Yes. Metal Gear Rising gameplay. The tech of it was so fun, like chopping apples into pieces and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Guess. You know what I say? Give it to Capcom. Give it to the Devil May Cry team.
No, it's too. That's too. Yeah, I can see. I get it.
Platinum,
No. I think no. No, yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. I'm just saying I enjoyed Metal Gear. I enjoyed not. I didn't enjoy Metal Gear Rising. I enjoed the concept of what was there. Okay, the concept of what was there was a fun game.
Some people love that game. So for some people,
It's
it's their favorite Metal Gear game.
That's wild. That's wild. You're wrong. It's okay though. Next story. Embracer Group. They went through. They are just. I don't know what's going on.
Everything.
Embracer Group acquires the Lord of the Rings IP, limited run games, Tripwire Interactive, and more. And the more was Tuxedo Labs. So Embracer Group now have Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, which they purchased for an undisclosed amount. They also got Bitwave, Geotech, limited run games, String Tricks, Tatsujin, Tripwire Interaction, and Tuxedo Labs. Embracer Group also made one more acquisition, which has not been named at this time due to commercial reasons. Ooh.
Activision from Xbox.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yep, we know it. We confirmed it here first on my Xbox and me. Original Cookie Man says this. Do you prefer your favorite IPs to be owned by multiple publishers? I personally don't care.
Whoever can make the best games.
That's all I care about.
We're also getting to a point where less and less games are like exclusive. Like Xbox, all of Xbox games come to PC, right?
Yep.
So I think there will be an avenue for most people to be able to play games.
Yeah.
A lot of Xbox already does the streaming, so there's that, and PlayStation's been gearing up their streaming. Who knows when they'll be efficient at it? But they seem to be sort of going in that direction as well. I think there will be a point in time where you don't necessarily need to own hardware to play a game that you really want to play.
Mhm.
Not saying the future of gaming is streaming, although Matt would be yelling that it is if he was here this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm down as long as there isn't a monopoly, and I think that's the really big thing. I'm down for whoever to own whatever, as long as we get good games from it. I will say, Embracer Group owning more and more studios is a little bit worrisome, because I do think Embracer Group puts out some mid games sometimes, some games that aren't really the hottest. So.
I think they put a lot of mid games up,
Yeah.
but maybe this is what they're trying to not be. Maybe this is why they're buying. I'll be honest with you, there hasn't been. This is a flipping hot take. Let me tell you, I don't think there's been a good Lord of the Rings game. Damn, I can't say that.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I can't. No, I was gonna. No, the hot take was gonna be.
Wait.
You can't. I can't say that because Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
And Shadow of Mordor 1 was actually very good. But I'm talking strictly like Lord of the Rings game. Like insert title here.
Where
there hasn't been a good Lord of the Rings game since the PS2.
I believe it.
Like, yeah.
Lord of the Rings, unfortunately, was one of those. It's such an old franchise at this point that existed in the era, and even after the era, where like it's a big name, we'll make a game out of it, attach the name to it, and it'll sell, and it did sell, and so bad games just kept being made and made and made.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that Shadow of Mordor made it such a standout, was like, it's a good game set in the Lord of the Rings universe. What is this?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you've got the MMO, but the Lord of the Rings, the two towers, that PS2 game was epic.
Never played it.
Very good game. Well, was
back
back in the day. I wouldn't be cool playing Lord of the Rings. What'd you take me for?
Bad franchise.
Really?
No, I personally I don't care for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That was a joke. I don't think that Lord of the Rings is
I
just don't care for it.
I don't want them to come for you, alright? That's all I'm saying. I don't want them to come for you.
Fine with it.
But yeah, to answer your question mainly, I don't care. It's not something that keeps me up at night. It's not something that worries me. I'm with Crash pretty much on like the Monopoly thing. Like, I wouldn't want Xbox to own everything. I wouldn't want PlayStation to own anything. I wouldn't want Nintendo to own anything. My thing is, and as I learn more and more as I get older in this industry, like, making video games is fucking hard. And not only that, it's fucking expensive. So to have a big company behind you that has stupid amounts of money and probably gives you more job security if you're a developer, it may stifle a little bit of creativity because these companies want to make a profit. Yeah, I'm okay with it, you know? And I don't think that... I look around the games industry right now and I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of big companies that own lots of things, but there are enough big companies that own lots of things that it's not a monopoly.
Yeah. I also... I think one of the biggest shames of this is that we might not be getting any of the Lord of the Rings characters to multiverses. Because there were a couple
maybe this is already done. That deal might have already been done, though. And they'll have to honor that.
Because data mining from the characters that are already in there, so the lines and stuff that were in the beta apparently aren't in the files anymore. From my understanding. So it seems like they sort of ripped everything out that was there. Or it's something that's prepared to be added whenever it's time to be added. But I'd lean more towards, it seems like they got rid of everything.
That's a shame.
They don't plan on adding them anymore. Yeah.
That's a shame. One news story I don't see here, Crash, is obviously a big one, which is EA. There's rumors right now going around that EA could be being purchased by Amazon, which is crazy. Any thoughts on that?
So apparently, updates have said that that's not the case.
I did see that,
More
but then
so.
I saw another updates which refutes those updates.
I'm gonna say that I have no clue. I hope Amazon doesn't buy EA.
Me too.
Because I don't think Amazon will make EA any better. And if Amazon buys EA, then I don't think there's a possibility of anybody else buying EA.
The thing is, EA controls so many important licenses in the sporting world that makes it super scary for someone like myself. And I say that, and it's hard because Take-Two own the basketball franchise. Again, because what worries me is Amazon going to buy it and then make it exclusive. And I don't think they would do that, to be honest with you. But you just never know, you know? Like,
I think
like EA Sports titles becoming Lunar exclusive is like, oh god, no, please.
I think those games are too expensive to
Yeah.
be exclusive.
What?
So I don't think that would happen.
See, I disagree with you on they are expensive, don't get me wrong, but I think they generate too much money. Is the thing. But how would you get a big foothold in the gaming world, Amazon? Yeah, by buying EA and controlling FIFA and Madden and
FIFA.
it won't be called FIFA, but bro, I'm letting you know right now,
wait,
FIFA is still going to be referred to as whatever EA's FIFA game is, all right?
Can I speak?
Of course.
So, Amazon buys them.
Uh-huh.
FIFA, as we know it, becomes exclusive. Only it's not called FIFA.
Yeah.
And so when people go and look for the football game, and they're like, where's FIFA? Well, FIFA doesn't exist anymore. Oh, but Lunar has this exclusive game. But that's not FIFA, and that's not a system that I know or recognize or have any clue about. That game falls off the face of the earth, I think. And whatever the other football game is, whatever buys the FIFA license,
so wrong.
That'll be the next one. Absolutely.
You're so wrong. Yeah. You're so wrong. It's okay to be wrong, Crash. A wise man told me that. A wise man told me it's okay. It's okay to be wrong, Crash. You know?
That's a dumb man.
Yeah? It was you. You told me that.
I'm an idiot.
Joker. Next. Oh, sorry. Let's get into the questions. I apologize. Fix the sack. Wait, what is this? Oh, sorry. I've messed this up.
That revolved around the Amazon thing. It was later on, and I put it up.
Yeah, I missed this. Sorry, Army. We missed your question. I love you. Bye. Fix the sack. We got our first one. This is a long one from Sarah Squid. This is going to be a long... Why do you have to use big words? Philosophical one. Sit your butts down and prepare to be... What? Contemplate.
Thank you. Contemplate.
Your manhood, gentleman. Why? Why did you do this? Space Marines in battle armor. It's a concept that's been in games since the dawn of POG. From enhanced superhumans like Spartans in Halo to badass demon slayers like Doomguy. In Doom, the suits of armor provide protection and enhanced abilities to the wearer. It's a power fantasy as old as time. Everywhere awesome space armor you've seen in games all look cool and makes you want to wear them. Though, there is one question a lot of people have in regards to these suits. How do you go to the bathroom? Well, there is an answer. It's a very common answer between almost every space-enhanced armor. Catheters. Bro, you know when you see a word and it's just like, you annoy me. Catheters. A catheter is a device that is inserted into your... Why? Sarah Squid, why? Into your urinal tube of your genitals or your pee hole. For men and women, the pee hole is located in slightly different spots, but in the end... Krish, is there a reason I'm reading this?
It's a question that was asked. I thought you would have read through this long question before you actually read it.
I assume that was your job. Is there a good question here?
I guess. I think it's a good question.
We've come this far. We've come for this far. Me and Matt?
The three of us. It's fine.
Sarah, what Sarah... but I've read further along, and I'm
You don't wanna
like,
answer it.
oh, it's not about that. It's just like a lubricated needle. I don't need to go any
You don't
further.
have to read that part.
I don't need to go
That's
any
the question.
further.
What's the golden part to the question?
Knowing the truth, would you dawn on power armor of some kind, be it from any of your favorite games like Gears or Halo, knowing that you have to be caffeinated, or does the power fantasy not mean that much to you? For the record, it's only no, Sarah. This one's too far. You know I love you. You know I love you. Okay, and you're a gem. You're a gem, Sarah Squid69. You're a gem. And you come out with some awesome questions.
This one's too far.
I knew it was going to be a long I knew what was coming. And you caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie this week. This one's...
I'm going to be honest. I fully thought you read it.
No, I didn't read it. But to be honest with you, I don't, because I like to get my natural reaction from Sarah's questions, if I'm being honest with you.
That's fair. I just want to point out this question's been in here for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, we missed it. And now I've read it.
Yeah.
Kresh, if you had to have a catheter to have a fancy suit of armor on, would you do it?
No, I don't want the fancy suit of armor. It has nothing to do with the catheter.
I've been caffeinated. When I was in hospital, I had to have a catheter in. It's not nice. It's not nice. I think that's why I'm a little bit emotionally scarred here, to be honest with you.
That's why the question.
I think that's why I'm triggered here. I think that's why I'm triggered. No, it's not for me, if I'm being honest with you. I've got to be honest with you, I've never fantasized about wanting to be a Spartan or even wearing Gears armor or any armor or Doom guy. I've never, ever, ever, ever been like, oh my God, I wish I could be like them. Ever. Have you?
No. Those are all very like sci-fi franchises, and I think
True.
Me and Fix are not the people, because neither me or Fix are very into sci-fi.
True.
I think this would be a Matt question, and I'll answer it for Matt. Matt says yes.
Matt 100% says yes. He would get caffeinated. He would
get caffeinated. Yeah.
Caffeinated. Jesus. He'd go get his decaf and be caffeinated. Sorry, that's no caffeine. My bad. No, Matt would 100% do it, but me, no, I'm not interested in. Bro, not only that. So this question, great question, but really, I thought it was gonna go in the place of like how heavy it is and like, bro, my fat body inside I get hot at the best of times. Like, could you imagine having to wear that? Does it have like a inserted air conditioning unit in them? I don't think they do.
They probably do.
They don't.
People would die. Everybody would. Master Chief's just dead in that suit.
Master Chief's body is actually just bones. It's only his head that looks all masculine, to be honest with you. Like, one day when we see his face, you could watch that Halo show to see his face.
You can see a whole lot more than just his face on that Halo show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see his bum.
What about his pee-pee? Can you see his pee-pee?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a... Was it... I don't know what service it launched.
Paramount.
Paramount.
That's it. Not the band Paramount.
Paramount.
Paramount own Halo TV show.
Series.
Yeah. No, Sarah. No. Next question. Do you think Dying Light 2 will come to Game Pass within a year of its release? From...
Can you say it?
Duven.
You do that on purpose. That doesn't even count.
No, I didn't. That's how I said. That's how you say his name.
Absolutely. I can tell from your
That's
face.
how you say his name.
That was on purpose.
That's how you say his name. That's how you say it. No, I don't think it comes to Game Pass within a year of release. No. I do not. What I do think is, if you're interested in the game, you should support it. If you have the means. But no, I don't think... I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to do well, but I don't think it's going to come to Game Pass within a year.
Yeah. I wonder because that game had PlayStation marketing when it was first announced, right? Or was it only announced at a PlayStation show? Do we know that?
I don't know.
Okay.
If it has PlayStation marketing, it's never coming to Game Pass, as we already know.
Yeah. So that one's dead if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I don't think we saw any like hint that it was directly PlayStation marketing
No.
at the showcase.
No.
But even then, I think this game has enough eyes on it, and it's been delayed so long they would want to release it for a while before adding it to Game Pass. I think a year plus, there's a chance you get it on Game Pass. Maybe if they do some sort of like definitive edition or whatever companies decide to do at that point in time after this game releases.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that comes on Game Pass, or if there's some sort of big free update that they pair that with Game Pass or something like that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. There's other games that you clearly seeing like that's coming to Game Pass pretty soon. With Dying Light 2, and like Chris said at the start of the show, it actually does look like a really fun game.
Yeah. Also, we're talking about Dead by Daylight.
Not
Dead
not
Island
Dying
2.
Light.
We're talking about Dead
Bloody hell.
Island 2.
Dead Island 2. I can't be the only one that's been doing that. I cannot be the only one. No way.
Well, I've been doing Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight and Dying Light.
Dying
I'm
Light.
just Jesus Christ.
It's all
We
the
were
dead
definitely
games.
meant Dead Island. That's exactly what we
Yeah.
meant. But no, to answer your question, I don't think so. Last question this week is from the one and only Zyger1337. Hello, Zyger. Hope you're well. PlayStation just announced a price increase effective immediately on all PlayStation systems across their major markets. The US is not affected, but every other region is. The price increase varies between countries and currency, but on average, we're seeing an increase of $50 across the board. Sony says that the ongoing global economy struggle, as well as inflation, is leading cause of the price hike. Sorry. My question is, do you foresee Xbox following suit and increasing the price, or either of the Series X or S, or do you think Microsoft will keep the price the same and try to use this pricing advantage to push Sony's console in affected regions? Microsoft this generation has aimed to be consumer friendly as possible, so I see them keeping the price the same, but this could be a good opportunity to cement the Series S console in the affected markets and build the Xbox ecosystem in regions previously dominated by Sony. I think Xbox have already actually come out and said that it's not going to get a price increase by now, right? No?
They came out and said that they have no plans currently.
Cool.
That's PR talk. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, that's fine. I respect that. I think this could be a huge play for Xbox now. As much as we don't talk about it still, price point is one of the biggest decisions in a child who's got birthday money, adults who are on budget, which obviously with the way the world is right now, everybody's on a damn budget, even rich people are on a damn budget. Yeah, I think this could be a huge play for Xbox. And not only that, I think it's bundling it with Game Pass and a controller and stuff like that. Like, you know, when you go into like your local GameStop and stuff and they've got the deals and stuff like that, the fact that those bundles are going to be $50 cheaper than a PlayStation bundle of the same thing is huge. It's huge. I remember when I bought my PSP and it was like, oh, I want that one and it's going to cost me an extra 50, and my mum was like, you got no chance, fella. And I'm like, but it's just 50. It's like, no, it's not happening. And
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I don't think Xbox will suit ever. I have to say. And I think this is Sony being very, very, very silly because they can afford to eat the cost.
I don't like costs have been going up even for.
I know.
They already sell it at a loss.
I know.
Then why are they being silly?
Because I think they can. I still think they could eat the cost. They make
Sony's
they.
not Microsoft.
No, I know that. I understand.
Saying.
But Sony are the. There's been that arrogance about Sony lately. Again, like the PS3 era, it's definitely there again. They
I don't
definitely,
disagree.
they definitely know they have the best games.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that they need to be the top dog, because all Sony has is PlayStation.
True.
So it's that want of like need. If we act like it and we show it, we are the biggest thing. They also need it to perform. So when you say like they can eat the cost, I don't think Sony can eat the cost. PlayStation can probably eat the cost.
That makes sense.
I don't think
I respect that. Yeah, I get
Sony
that.
can eat the cost.
True.
And like
True.
if you look at Xbox, like maybe Xbox can't eat that cost.
But Microsoft can eat that.
definitely eat the
So it's the
cost.
vice versa. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And that's really what I'm looking at here. Like I don't necessarily think that Xbox will increase the price either, but I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibilities. But if they do, I can guarantee you that they'll still be whatever they do. They'll still be beating PlayStation on the price, because I think they can probably take more of a hit on the cost than Sony on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't see. I could get clipped here, but I don't see that ever being a day Xbox are more expensive than PlayStation again until they get market share.
Bigger.
Until they get market share again.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. When you're viewed as the smaller of the two, whether you make statements to say like, "Oh, we don't really view them as our competition," or
Oh,
whatnot,
whatever.
they
Yeah.
are your competition.
Yeah.
You know, and you can beat them on price. You will beat them on price.
Yeah.
Even if you have like you want to say that, oh, I have the more premium product. It's like I have the more premium product, and it's at a more affordable price.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you do when you're the underdog. I think it'll be a different conversation if, like, let's say, next quote unquote generation, like, we don't know what'll be going on with generations at this point.
Yep.
But if Microsoft's in the lead and there is some sort of like costly like technological advancement, I could see Xbox being like, okay, our consoles are gonna be a little bit more expensive this time. But I think Microsoft will be smart enough, hopefully, to pair that with the worth of that cost increase, or costing more than the competition. Where I think Sony...
You'd hope so. You'd hope so.
I remember like the conversation with Sony. Like, Sony will never do what they did the PS3 generation. I think as time's been going by, you look at Sony, it's like they're going back into that territory.
Yep.
It's really easy to fall into the territory of arrogance when you're ahead and you have the market share and you can just keep fumbling.
You have the market share and you have the games. Sorry for the abrupt ending to this week's My Xbox and Me. My internet died. Chris was in a rush, so we couldn't record any more podcast. Also, apologize for the levels as well. Crash's audio is a little bit low this week. It'll be sorted for next week, but I do apologize. Keep supporting us, keep loving us, and I'll love your lead. See you all later.